Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. It is me, Dukect, here live once again on talkshoe.com. And I am happy. I am loving life. How are y'all doing? And I hope you're doing well. I hope everyone's doing well this evening, because I hope that you're having a fantastic evening sitting here listening to the Dukect Lounge. If not, hey, don't worry, ladies and gentlemen. Do not worry at all. You will find this on YouTube. You can find this on BitChute. Blip's been long and dead. He ain't coming back. BitChute.com. Also on Freaking Awesome Network and on MedicExpression.com. We are here going to be doing some good things, some awesome things, and here live on the Dukect Lounge. Thanks so much for joining me. And there's been so many good things happening. And now, let's get into the show. Let's talk a little bit about All In. Now, we're going to be talking about All In, ladies and gentlemen. And let me tell you, it was a very great. In fact, though, I will probably post this on Medic Expression about me, Brandon, Writer's Block, and Nate. Otaku, and such. They all had a nice conversation they talked about the pre-show Starcast. We were there, but yeah, they actually went to All In and live, full airfare, all that stuff, and that was awesome. That's great, for them. But we talked all about All In. I don't know if I'm gonna do a video review of it. Maybe, who knows? I might do that. If y'all want me to, put a link in the comment section below when it gets on the DVD. I got some stuff on my plate anyway. Anyway, speaking of all that stuff, recently my last review standing of Ratchet and Clank Size Matters review up, done, and hopefully I will have to get Ratchet and Clank. No, it's gonna be Secret Agent Clank soon. Hopefully this month. And then after that, and also this month, hopefully, I will try to get TNA Impact Wrestling Slammiversary. And yeah, we'll get into that this month, hopefully. Then we will still do the Dukect Lounge, as always, Wednesday nights. And on Fridays, night live streams are back. I'll try to do more live streams, but I will have continuously live streams at Friday nights. We're doing Epic Mickey, and hopefully you guys will attend. I might do more Monday night streams, since Monday Night Raw is going to be the garbage. But if it's get to the point, I might do Friday and Monday night streams for you guys. Anyway, let's get into the whole stuff about All In. It was fun and exciting, but also we have to look at the, fallout of it. And I have to say, there's a lot of good stuff here. I think there was a very positive, vibe of wrestling, even though some of the matches didn't hit it off, but it was amazing. And right then we have, ladies and gentlemen, over, it was, ladies and gentlemen, it sold out. It sold over 11,000 tickets, and it's basically I had this over a 10,000 seat arena with this is again a non-WWE, non-WCW event, the biggest indie wrestling show, the United States indie pro wrestling show of all time, and it was not just one promotion. It was multiple promotions. It was Impact Wrestling. It was Lucha Underground. It was AAA in Mexico. AAA, New Japan Pro Wrestling, Ring of Honor, NWA. There were many wrestling organizations putting their in. Well, they went all in on it. And the question I ask of you, my viewers who have downloaded this show, over 30,000. Oh, we got guess 1 and 2. They showed up. Hopefully, remember, if you want to come in and talk. Remember the show, if you want to, you can just plug your stuff in the internet and just do the talking about it online. It's great. You can do that. Also, Remember, you can participate in many other ways. You can participate in, again, you can call in. The number is 605-562-0444. And the show ID to connect me, Duke CT, is 92417. Once again, the show ID is 92417. Also, you can just use just to hit and connect, and bam, there you are. Boom. So go ahead, have fun, and we're going to be talking more about more stuff about All In as well. Another thing we could talk about. Oh, hey, I think it's Rowdy C. Let's see if he actually wants to come in and talk here. If we can do it. Okay. Oh, all right. Is this? Hello, Rowdy C. We could just connect, just talk. By the way, are you here? Not to say, hello, Rowdy C. Can you hear me? You're unmuted, hopefully. Hopefully you can hear me, because I wanted to have your thoughts about this, about how this whole is the big stuff here. Let's see if you can, yeah. Yeah. Can you hear? Let's see. Okay. Oh, you're viewing only, no audio connected. Okay. Hey, by the way, if you want to come in again, well, dang, you must have left. The thing is weird, but hopefully we can reconnect to something like that. Because again, the number, as always, if you want to, get into the show, as always, is 605-562-0444. The show ID is 92417, and the PIN number is 224-9866. So you can just let me see if I can just he's still here. Rowdy C, let's see if I could just point this in the chat, how to connect, so we can get this thing, because I know you want to talk about this stuff. Okay, let's see the number. Here we are, and the show ID, put it in the chat. Boom, here we are. And let's see, not only that, and I think the PIN number, I'll just put the PIN number here as well. Dang it. Let's see. There we are. And boom. And you can hopefully connect and talk to the old me. And we can do this thing via phone or just connecting the online stuff here, because I really want to talk to you about the everything about All In. And not only that but I want to look at this as the catalyst or something. I think you would agree that this is going to be something really good and positive for the wrestling industry. And I hope people will listen to me, listening to my voice, my lovely voice, but also around the via when you this he's gonna try to call it. Okay, but yeah. My thing is about these other people, the other people coming in, the wrestling organizations. Back to the point. I think this is overall net good. You saw a lot of people who have been into these big shows. I think this is a good thing. It shows that there's actually some wrestling in us, and I actually, ladies and gentlemen, my heart of heart hopes that there is going to be some really good stuff here, really positive stuff. That it's what type of other organizations are going to show up next time? Which organization is going to pick up more of the slack? Is it going to be something like WrestleMania weekend, or is it like Wrestle Kingdom or something? Like it's going to grow to like a 2-night event or something? Who knows? Personally, I think in this situation, in this type of what's the word I'm looking for, ladies and gentlemen? Opportunity. Yes, there it is. Opportunity of this of other wrestlers meeting up in competition. In these competitions, in like a crossover event, an indie crossover event, if you will, stuff like that, yearly type of thing. But how are you going to have like storylines like connect to other? I mean, you have shows that are like Impact Wrestling that are taped so far in advance. How are they going to have a marquee match that's going to fit into this whole All In stuff? Because when you tape them that far, it's same with Ring of Honor. It's just, you better hope none of you guys get hurt or injured while working on this stuff. That's going to be it. That's to me a very negative problem. Again, if they want to go into this whole role of these type of group collaborations, is this going to just be an indie super show? Fine, but that's not going to be a continuous thing just to have. Like, fine, whatever. But I think the best thing they can do is to try to input more, like, say, more storylines, more things that are connected to these type of big matches and mostly big important events to it. I would like to see one day see New Japan Pro Wrestling title defended in an All In. Maybe that could be All In too. Maybe have every champion, every main event champion of these promotions have to defend their championships in. I think that would actually be really good. I mean, in fact, you had Tessa Blanchard, who is Impact Women's Champion, so why not have that? That could be something really positive. But NWA title, Ring of Honor Championship. I know you can't fit the show for every championship match, but I think if you do something like that, that would actually bring in more people, bring in more fans. Because again, you can have an indie super show, Bullet Club, and all that. Because eventually, that thing's gonna fade away. You need something that actually will last, something that will actually be, more foundation. And I think if you have a foundation of that, Rowdy?
Hey, Duke.
Oh, you got through. Yep. You hear me?
Yeah, sorry about all the difficulties. I apologize for that.
Oh, yeah, man. How you doing, Rowdy?
I'm doing okay. Just get as much of my own video work and stuff done as soon as possible. Of course, preparing for next Rowdy Live this Friday.
Yeah, I'll be on watching that as well. I don't think you watched All In. Hopefully you do the replays. It's actually really good. Again, pay-per-view. But I was looking, talking more of the fallout and what you expect in the future. I threw out some ideas and what in your because you are not in much of the indie wrestling scene. What do you think, as someone that's All In wants to get you as a customer or eventually go to these shows? What would you think All In or like Cody Rhodes or someone like the Ring of Honor or whatever need to do to keep this momentum going? In your opinion?
Well, like I said, I'm not one of the biggest indie fans out there. I'm actually going to talk about a very similar subject this Friday, to be perfectly honest. As far as I didn't get to watch the show. Now, it wasn't completely my choice. I was at a soccer game that same night, so it was not. I do want to say this about one thing. First off, I do want to give Cody Rhodes and all the other people who are all the credit in the world for doing something that a lot of people didn't think was possible. And to be perfectly honest, do what they did. I believe they sold all 10,000 tickets in 30 minutes or something along those lines, as best I heard. That tells me that the ability and opportunity and talent for another wrestling organization to stand up and be a competitive WWE, which I fully admit to being a huge fan of. I don't hide that, but I'm not against competition. I'm definitely not against independent organizations because, like I said, I'm an independent entertainer. But what it tells me is that the potential to be a viable competitor to WWE is there, but that tells me the people running TNA, Ring of Honor, or Lucha Underground even, they're not taking the necessary effort and resources to doing it. And if these group of performers like Cody and the Bullet Club and the Young Bucks could get together and actually put in that effort and get it to succeed, then now it tells me that these small promotions really don't have much of an excuse. Yeah, I'm here. You here?
Just your audio went off a bit. That's all. Just your audio went a little off a bit, but I understand what you're saying. I think that they did, but you need to realize that there's when you look at the wrestling business where it is right now, there is a hunger for that type of. I don't say I know you might hate this realism, but I think there is an audience for that. There's audience for it, and to have a. But the thing is, I think the one thing All In could have is that what can be hurting it because there's the lack of consistency. Because again, these are different organizations are coming in and putting their stars in. What if they are having supernatural angles or something like that to have that type of character go on the show that is more realistic of All In and such. So, for example, Su Yung, or say, I know Pentagon Dark is not really mystical of a character, but Pento at Zero, he does have that type of, he can go supernatural and such. He can do that type of stuff. But when you have that type of supernatural stuff and realism, it does, the consistency can hurt it a bit. But I think what you're saying, wrestling can have all these other differences, all these other things that can accomplish that. But my fear with All In is that they're going to take the good things about it. They'll just say, okay, just have an indie super show, which is fine. But I think if they could do something really special is actually try to make things have, the most important matches there were the champion. The NWA title match that had that type of emotion, that type of something that actually connects to the people there. And it's something, if they can have that more often in next year's All In, hopefully in Washington, D.C., that would actually be really good because, hey, it'd be nice to go to the wrestling event that actually, I have a very positive experience. In fact, I didn't have a positive experience going to a wrestling show since actually my last time going to WrestleMania. But, hey, that's just me. But, yeah, it's that type of stuff there. You know what I'm saying, right, right, Chris? Is that type of consistency? A type of something that actually not only makes it happen, but actually continues the stories into their relative shows and such. That's what I mean.
Well, that comes into what my number one concern is of this potential show. Because here's what I think. Basically, from my view, is the number one reason the people behind the likes of Ring of Honor and the NWA were able to more or less give permission to have their own world titles be featured on the show is because at the time, it was pretty much a no-risk investment for them. I don't think they really expected to do that great, but because the wrestlers, the performers, were more or less shouldering much of the response, it wasn't a gamble or a risk for the actual promoters themselves. Now that they've seen it can actually succeed, I hate to say this, but I get the feeling that probably if they try to do something like this again, there's going to be more effort on the part of Billy Corgan and the people running Ring of Honor that they're going to want to have more of their hands on in the situation. And that might result in, long story short, they are probably... you might not get what ultimately the performances that a lot of people who watched were satisfied in. Once you get the other behind the scenes people more involved, I think that's the number one concern you have to have going down the line.
Yeah, that's true. You have to make sure you gotta continue to grow, and that's what. All In has to do. This was I say this with again with praise, but I'm a little tempered with it because I've seen these stories before. I've seen how companies and stuff like this take momentum and they squander it. I mean, I could
It goes
say
all the way back.
wrestling has done that.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
It goes back to that one show I keep talking about. I talked about before. That was back in 1988, Super Clash 3, which was a whole cooperation between it was like the AWA World Class Championship Wrestling and Continental Wrestling, and that turned out to be an absolute cluster crap because the people behind it, the egos aside. Remember, the main event of that show was the AWA champion versus the world class champion in a unification match. And because the promoters of those different companies could not come to an agreement on a finish where one guy won the title and looked good doing it, which led to the entire show being a disaster. And almost all of the promotions involved were out of business within a few years afterwards. The thing is, could an all-in pay-per-view like this next time do something like this, where would you ultimately agree to a match of Kenny Omega versus Cody Rhodes, title for title? You have to figure that's the type of match fans want to see. But would those behind the scenes at NWA and Ring of Honor or in New Japan be fully willing to do something like that and put their egos aside of saying, look, one guy's champion is going to have to go down in this promotion?
Oh, yes. I think that. You saw what happened with Nick Aldis and Cody. They said that they again, the story built up to that, and the match did it. It was great about that. But there are going to be egos involved. I mean, this is a business of, pop circumstance and lots of egos. And trust me, you don't need to tell you the stories of how many times of how these egos have ruined, good ideas and stuff like that. But I always have, like I said, tempered, but I do have hope for it, because when I look at what All In represents and the success of All In, over 11,000 seats, over 11,263 ounce attendance. You have basically over 470,000 being like the shirts they sold during the during the event. Over almost around 500,000 shirts they just sold in the last 4 months, and everything else. They kept doing all these type of things. I mean, this is amazing, and it comes off of the again, this momentum of this, for better or worse, this anti-WE mood here, because you see the stuff that's happening on Raw and such, and seeing how characters are not really made right and everything. You see characters that are like the whole Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair, which I think they're doing well, but I sit there and I'm like, they should get a Hell in a Cell match, but that's a story for another time. But I think when you look at characters, most fans feel like they, what? They're not treating it right, so they're going to look at other directions. They look at Impact Wrestling. They look at, Lucha Underground. They look at other shows that they say, it's not perfect, but they actually feel like the characters' shifts, characters' moves fit with that person's character, and they want to see how it goes. Even if it doesn't feel like, it feels like, but you know what? It fits the character. I like it. Even though,
and that's what I say. I'm not afraid to admit. Yeah, and I'm not afraid to admit. Look, if people are not satisfied with WWE's current product, I mean, it's not. I can't completely blame. I'd rather they go and try something else and be happy than just spending all their time flooding social media with gripes and complaints about WWE. All I'm saying is that the potential. I said, because of that, if there is any disconnect between a large group of wrestling fans and the WWE product, then yes, the potential is there for an Impact or a Ring of Honor or an NWA to step forward and be an actual competitor. Contrary to what people want to believe, WWE isn't doing anything to hamper those promotions' ability to promote themselves and present them as an actual competitor. Those other promotions just aren't doing it. They're not putting out the resources necessary. And that's again why I give the Cody Rhodes and the Young Bucks and these performers all the they were willing to put out the effort. And I'm saying, if you want, if you want to see these any other promotion become a legit second competitor in the whole world of professional wrestling, you got to put the pressure on them to get their product out there and promote it officially and let people know, do the effort to know when and where people have to completely dig through the deepest recesses of the internet or back channels of cable TV to try and find where their stuff is all the time. If they would just put out the effort, we could have another war like you had with WWF and WCW. If someone is going to put out the competitive effort like WCW was willing to do in the 1990s.
Yes, and Ring of Honor for still using syndication, and I'm surprised syndication still exists nowadays. But there are rumors that they're according to I believe Sportster and such. This was like 2 months ago in July. They said that there's looking to be could be according to Meltzer or Dave Meltzer, who I don't know, maybe he's telling the truth or not, but they're saying he's saying that there could be something for Ring of Honor, something for Impact Wrestling, a big major deal that actually could shift things over. And I think that's actually a really good thing. I hope that this is going to happen because right now I think WE sitting there on top of just saying, and heck, buying every indie wrestler to get there and do absolutely nothing. Be the hot thing for 5 months, then next year go off being irrelevant for the next 3 or 4 years. I honestly think it's a good way so that actually people can just sit there like, you know what? Instead of sitting in WWE, like, you know what? I can go here, Ring of Honor or Impact Wrestling or anything else and actually make a living. I can actually do shows. I can actually be a part. I can actually matter, be a pillar, be something of an actual pillar on their show instead of just being like the forgettable cast member on the show that basically no one really cares about and only gets maybe a 5 or 10 minute match on Monday Night Raw that people just don't care for in the long term. I think this would actually come in and, again, it's the same thing with this indie stuff back today when, people left WWE and came back. Cody Rhodes did so. You see people did that in Impact Wrestling. You see Austin Aries. You see John Morrison. Johnny Morrison. He really revolutionized after he left the WWE. He not only became, just really good wrestler, but also an actor, but also he became a champion. He became just truly successful. And if he would have stayed in WWE, he would have just been better and just lost in the mid-card and such. That's what I want, is that true competition. And I believe if it gets bigger, and that's why I believe that's what's going to ding. And I'll let you have the last word on this. And after that, ladies and gentlemen,
just like I said,
we'll be going to
just like I said, it all
Brownie for me is going to be there for that.
And the effort to put their product out there and try to draw viewers in rather than just sit back and wait for people to come and find them. They've got to go to the audience, not wait for them to come to them. And if they do that, maybe there can be some competition. Great talking to you with always, Duke.
All right, no problem, man. I'll see you on the other side, man. Thank you so much for joining into the show. And that was Rowdy C, everyone. And I am happy to say that was a very good little Renters interview. And don't worry, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back. And we're going to continue this train moving, and we're going to continue talking a little wrestling. We're going to go into Lucha Underground. Ooh, I think that's probably why Chris left. He didn't want to get into the temple. But one of these days, I'm going to see me and him just going to sit down and actually do a commentary about all of the worst Lucha Underground episodes. That would just be fun. Yeah, exactly. If you want to, put a link in the description or something. Put a like there or something like that if you want to see it. Hashtag, make this hashtag trend. Hashtag Rowdy C reviews Lucha Underground. Make that into a trend. All right. I'll be right back. We're gonna listen to some really good stuff. Let's see with some OC remix. Let's see. How about Speeding Towards Adventure, Sonic the Hedgehog with featuring Final Kingdom, Two Brigades, Funness, and AZK 316. We'll be listening to this. We'll be right back. It's gonna be me, Dukect T, talking about Lucha Underground, the previous episode here live on Dukect Lounge. Thanks so much for listening. Thanks so much for watching and all the good stuff here. We'll be right back right after this here on TalkShoe.com. Right back right after this. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children, all ages, it is me, Dukect T, here, live, once again, for you, the people, on last week's standing like the video review. So this is the Dukect Lounge. This is the fun show. This is the live, ladies and gentlemen, over 30,000 downloads, and I am thankful and humble for all that. I am just amazed. Over 30,000 downloads, and hopefully we'll get more. I mean, I will be sharing this stuff. Heck, you know what? Screw it. I'm gonna see if I can get away with this. With DC Universe streaming service, they say they have forums. I'm just gonna put the stuff here. I'm gonna see do a little like comics and stuff, reviews and such on Dukect Lounge and everything. And see if I can post this on here and see if I actually can steal some people with the DC Universe and such, and with the Dukect Lounge. So why not? That's how, that's what I'm going to be doing. So, that's what it is. That's going to, that's the plan. Anyway, let us get into Lucha Underground. This show right here. We're going to get into Lucha Underground, ladies and gentlemen. Who wants to talk about the Lucha Underground, everyone? This is just going to be I think this was decent. I think I like this episode. I do. I enjoyed this episode. And, well, let's get into it. It actually has a really good, impromptu wrestling match. Impromptu Lucha Underground title with the new, it was originally going to be Johnny Mundo, but since he's in the hospital recovering after Matanza's attack, he's recovering. But before we get into that, let's talk about what's going on here under the temple. Before we get into that, all the craziness, let's start with Katrina basically dumping Mil Muertes, saying that I got life now, I don't need you, I'm good, hit you with the deuces, here's your rock, screw it, and move on. And then, and Melissa Santos, before Katrina can leave, Melissa Santos was like, it's time for that payback. And Santos puts, Santos and Katrina fight. They fight, go through the window. Katrina throws a steel chain to Santos. And I sit there wondering, I said this tweet, and I'm like, I bet Katrina misses her teleporting ability. And then, they're just beating the crap at each other. and then both ladies get knocked out from a double leg kick, and then you have Katrina getting Santos in a trap with the cross arm breaker. It looks like it was over, but yeah, Katrina fights her way out of it. And then next to the brawl, kept fighting on top of the roof of the temple, and Katrina starts choking Santos with that chain that she gave him 10 weeks ago. And then Santos just comes right back and just punch, just knocks her down, and then wham! It looks like she does a nice arm drag there to knock down. Oh, she was like, hanging on the roof, and it's like and Santos is like about to lay her out, but no, she's like, I'm not like that. And then Emilio Martinez comes into the thing. It comes, and he's like, leave. I'm like, oh, looks like, hey, at the end of the day, those two are gonna be here. All of like this. He says, well, yep. He's like, yep. To remember me by. And then just drops her like a stone. Yeah, gave her a stone and then drops her and then basically kills her. And then Santos, it looks like it's over, but the next who comes in, our favorite future time traveling luchador, Aerostar. Oh, hi, Aerostar. It looks like and then Santa's like, okay, it's over. And like, okay, I say, okay, I didn't kill, no, you need to do a favor. And then, guess what? He goes back in time, uses the life force Katrina stole from Phoenix, and then basically revives Phoenix and, well, brings Phoenix back to Santos. And it looks, and then, hey, and that is a awesome thing. Because, at least it fixes a lot. Like, hey, he's brought back from that period. So, and, he's out of time. So, yeah, he'll be right back and everything will be back to normal. But you look closely to Phoenix's eyes. A little bit of that darkness Katrina has. So, he's not going to be 100% the Phoenix we know. Well, we have our first match. We have Matanza taking on Joy Wrestling. Joy Wrestling, if you don't know, is not, it is Johnny Wrestling. He's not, first off, Joey Mercury, aka Joey Mercury, and Joey Matthews, former tag team champion, former WWE tag team champion. Let's see, his championships. He was the NWA World Tag Team Champion with New York. He was the WWE Tag Team Champion with Johnny Nitro with John Morrison. So yeah, they're like, and he was, and you know why? Him facing Matanza, because hey, Matanza ruined the wedding and he wants revenge. So Joy Wrestling stepped up, and you know what? This match was, a squash. It was actually pretty, competitive. Joey Wrestling showed some good moves and some nice little hit some nice moves, and just continue to try to just take down Matanza. And heck, even hit the pedigree. And Matanza just no-sold it via like old New Warrior back in the days of WrestleMania. And then Matanza hits Joey Wrestling with the Wrath of the Gods to pick up the victory, and another sacrifice. And as Matanza continues to grow in strength. Next up, you have Killshot taking on Big Bad Steve with Beautiful Brenda. And since, let's see the, oh man. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, that crew with Beautiful Brenda, he is not doing well. I mean, seriously, this dude, just everything that could go wrong does go wrong for his little group and such. Let's see, Famous B just can't get a break. So yeah, Famous B is still now back in the hospital, but yeah, probably in the hospital just trying to rest himself up. But Big Bad Steve's taking on Killshot was a pretty decent match. Killshot, Big Bad Steve showed some really good stuff, but I liked that power bomb he did, turned to like a power bomb to a faceplate. That was nice, Big Bad Steve. That was a pretty cool stuff there. I liked it. Meanwhile, you have during the match, you had Son of Havoc come down the ring with a soda and bucket of popcorn, which I said on Twitter, and I'll repeat this now. In a wrestling event, I've never had popcorn. I had like nachos and stuff like that, but I've never had popcorn watching a live wrestling event. That's what I had. I bought maybe merch. I think about merch, some soda, and like some chicken wings, fries, but I never bought popcorn. I think popcorn is like, to me, mostly like a movie or TV show thing. I just don't think, when I think popcorn, I don't think wrestling. I just think that just, seems to me, well, then again, wrestling is theater, so, so yeah. Anyway, the match continued on, and at the end of the day, Killshot wins with a running double foot stomp, and then wins today with the kill stomp to pick up the victory. And then next thing you know, Killshot and Son of Havoc were exchanging blows, and then Havoc rips off Killshot's mask. Oh dear, that's maybe he had that plan, but I don't know. But it looks like it's now part of the plan now, and I think this is not going to be a very positive relation. This relationship is already done at this point. So Killshot his mask has been revealed, so that's not going to be good. Then we have Pentagon Dark, the Lucha Underground champion, versus Hernandez for the Lucha Underground championship. This match was good. I like the pre-show talking about that stuff. Hernandez still has that lovely swagger, and he still shows his athleticism, and just really good. This was a pretty good match, and Hernandez comes close as he comes hits a flying splash. He laid up. He it looks like he was going to hit like a nice little slingshot show tiger, but then Pentagon hits a super kick. Then he hits him with the Pentagon driver and picks up the victory. And Pentagon was about to make Hernandez, let's just say he was going to break the breaker of bones. Was going to claim another victim, Hernandez, but guess who came behind him? King Cuerno attacks Pentagon from behind, and he connects with the Thrill of the Hunt on the Lucha Underground title, and lays the championship on Pentagon. Looks like he's finally gonna get his opportunity, which I can't wait to see King Cuerno versus Pentagon. That's gonna be a fun match. So yeah, I thought this was a decent show, something that continues the story, and I want to see the fallout with Phoenix. I want to see the fallout of all these other wrestlers coming back. That's going to be very interesting to see about how this the consequences and everything else sets up. So, with that, ladies and gentlemen, the show is over. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it's over. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening. And I hope this was something that you guys and gals and everyone talk about. This is going to be something really positive. I believe so. So thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for being part of this show. Dukect here. Peace and love. I will see y'all when I see y'all later.